Alright, we're back again. This is part 5 of the Roottrees are dead. Still dead. Still searching for the family tree. It has only been like 10 or so minutes between recordings. All I did was make a cup of tea. A cup of tea that's going to be very hard to drink because this game has very few moments where there's audio acting and I can pause and take a sip. But maybe you'll forgive me if I do take a sip of my tea every now and again. Because who doesn't like a cup of tea? Now, I believe I said I was going to search for the eldest of the 5 pieces. Possibly try and figure this out. I mean, I feel like this person has got to be this face. Has got to be this face, but I'm not sure. Well, I tell you what we do know. This person's a musician. If they're touring in a band, they're a musician. And we know that this person is called Candy. So if there's anything we can find that suggests Roottrees. So I was like, I saw candy and I was like, no, but candy is the stuff that the Roottrees make, so that's tricky. So this is the line that this line that I'm just checking up. Gwyn was the granddaughter of Elias. Well, we knew that. So Gwyn is... Oh no, I'm over here. I want to be in this line. Sorry. No, we're unsure about this. The Rafferty line. The Rafferty line is over here. But there's a connection between the Raffertys and Jim because of their music and the close relationship between Jim and Clark. So I'm just checking. No. I mean, Candy would make sense as a name, wouldn't it? For if the band isn't made up of some of the LaRues, or these are the Rafferty LaRues, and wait a minute. Well, let's bring this back up. These people are Rafferty LaRues, right? This person is a root tree. So if there's a Candy root tree, that's it. That's the person. So, use your brain, Stuart. Roottrees Candy. There we go. There we go. That's the thing. Right. Candy. Okay, come on. Use your surnames. Surnames are the strongest thing we have sometimes. That's a Roottrees. These ones are going to be Rafferty LaRue. So, returning to this thing, Nikki and Nina. So who are the Rafferty LaRues? Jessica and Katrina. Jessica and Katrina are not Nikki and Nina. Okay, so maybe it's not these two. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they're just some other random people. We don't need to worry about them. They're unrelated. I just thought because this family is close to this family, maybe they would have formed a band, but I guess her friends are different. So, right. Locked one in. You are still an unknown. And I think... And you don't have a name or an occupation yet. I mean, there's a good chance you're still a preacher if you're in the Miracle family, but let's abandon that for now. Now, what else? So we did just look up this as well. I am going to get to the 5 pieces. I just wanted to double check that I didn't miss anything from here. Blah, 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 blah. Because we've got the meta mystery, right? Don't believe their lies. It's just another instance of the Roottrees curse being a real true thing. I bet Carl was murdered. This is why I kind of wanted a meta. What is the Roottrees curse? Do we know what that is? 1 sec. I'm shoving this into there. Oh, God knows what I just did. Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr. Who the bloody hell are these people? Oh, we know who Carl is. Yeah. I know. I'm all over the place. Who would be a second cousin to Carl? So a second cousin to Carl would be... well, Zach. Like anyone on this line who is not... No, that's not true. That's not true. No, sorry, Carl's here, isn't he? So yeah, anyone on Carl's generation who is not in this grouping, who isn't under the Clancy line. So these people are second cousins to Carl. All of these people are second cousins to Carl. And why was I talking about that? Ernie Jr. is a second cousin to Carl. So there's an Ernie Jr. around here somewhere. We haven't seen an Ernie yet, so we don't know where all that fits in. Just keeping it in my mind. He was also a president. Don't forget, we've got 5 presidents. He's a president. He's a president. Zach was a president. Someone, I think Clancy, laughed off the idea of there being a woman president, but maybe we'll see. We'll see who has the last laugh. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Now, what's the Roottrees curse? Do I want to put it into my meta mystery? The Roottrees curse. Let's do all of that. Because we don't know what that is yet. But okay, what is the Roottrees curse? Do we know what that is? Okay, there is something for the Roottrees curse. Okay, there's a long, rambly conspiracy website with very small red text on a black background that says, the 90s. The Roottrees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. Important update. With Carl and Brenda and their girls, that makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Roottrees Company have died mysteriously. They say Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 82. But no one was arrested. Then Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. This cannot be coincidence. There's another entry that claims if you connect the dots in the... So, let's just breeze over my accent there. Carl and Brenda and their girls. We know those. 5 deaths. 3 of the 5 presidents have died mysteriously. So... let's do that. And let's put it in meta. And we're going to say pre-presidents. Let's not do that. Let's... where do we want to put... Presidents, Guy, Ernie Madsen Jr. See Roottrees curse. Right, that seems fine. There's too much in temp. I wonder if I need to make a president's... I don't know. Ignore it for now. Right. There's another entry that claims if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 pieces wrappers, it creates a Mayan ruby skull, a secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. We saw. I noticed there was a Mexican style skull somewhere. Oh yeah, it was in the Conquistador. Yes. What are the names of these skull types? There is a name for this, isn't there? This style. I can't remember what it's called. Right, stop getting distracted. I'm going to put this in the meta. It probably isn't anything, but I'm sticking it in there. The post before has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corner, simultaneously 4-day time cubes. The author of the site seems to agree. An entry from a few months ago claims the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff75 at prodigy.us. Interesting. Asking him to take down his site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. Pause. Okay, there is a Chris Rafferty. So I'm going to go in the Rafferty line. And I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to say Chris Rafferty. Job equals fake evidence. So maybe he works in film. Like props. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I am okay at typing, but my microphone is in front of my hands, and even though I can touch type, it just throws you off somehow. Especially when you're sort of trying to do something specific. I don't know. Right. Pause. We'll come back to that. Let's just pretend this is Chris for a minute and see what our interior design, maybe manufacturing, media mogul, maybe screenwriter. Nothing is police officer, maybe fake evidence. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Whoever Chris Rafferty is. Back to the thing. The first entry is from '96 and has a blurry picture of the Roottrees Candy Company factory, seemingly taken by the website's author from behind a fence through some trees. It seems that Operation RT29 is real. I witnessed a helicopter land on February 29th, '96. The website footer says all images and ideas by Thomas Overwood. So, Ernie Madsen Jr. we can look up. In fact, let's make a list. Ernie Madsen Jr. You notice how we're not looking up the 5 pieces? Operation RT29. Thomas Overwood. I don't think that's going to lead to anything because I think that's just the conspiracy site, but it's worth chasing up on everything. Let's look up who Guy might be. Does he have a name? I mean, he's probably a Roottrees, right? These are the men. There's no Guy. Hudson Guy. So let's look up Guy Hudson. Brackets president. Okay, so Ernie Madsen Jr., Operation RT29, Thomas Overwood, and Guy Hudson. While we've got this all here, I'm going to do this one first because I think it's going to be nothing. Ooh, not nothing. Thomas Overwood seems to have a few different sites about mysterious deaths and curses. In addition to the Roottrees Curse website, you also find one about the truth behind Spirit Cola, which claims that Spirit really stands for Satan's Plague is returning in 2000, and that in the year 2000, anyone who's drunk Spirit Cola will die. Is Spirit Cola a real thing? Or is it a thing in this world? I'm not au fait with all of America's, snacks and beverages. Another website is Stock Markets and the Devil's Numbers, which claims if you multiply any stock's price by 666 and then also multiply the current year by that same stock's price and then add those two numbers together and divide the entire total by the stock price and finally subtract the current year, you'll always end up with 666. I can't quite do this in my head, but I'm pretty sure that is a self-fulfilling just bit of circular mathematics. So funny. I'm gonna look up Spirit Cola just because. Spirit Cola is a carbonated drink found only in the southern US. It comes in various flavors, including lemon, lime, and cherry. None of this has anything to do with the Roottrees. Didn't think so. I think this is just flavor. Funny flavor. I'm going to tick off Thomas Overwood. I'm also going to look up Operation RT29, which I also think is going to be nothing, but let's be thorough before we move on to Ernie and Guy. You find more conspiracy websites. Some people out there claim the Roottrees are changing the candy recipe to include more and more chemicals, and this was done in cooperation with bad actors from an unknown government. They claim that due to a loophole in the calendar, it's possible to get away with nearly any crime on a leap day so long as it isn't discovered until the day is over, and that every 4 years, on a leap year, the Roottree company hosts meetings with foreign agents to conspire to poison our children. Their proof is Roottree candies contain polyglycerol, polyricinoleate, an ingredient of the candy that wasn't there when it was first released. They claim it's added in an attempt to addict people and eventually induce mind control. The website claims to sell pills that counteract this effect for children that have already eaten Roottree candy in the past. Here we go. Here's the grift. You do an additional search for polyglycerol polyricinoleate, and it seems to be an emulsifier in chocolates approved by the FDA and widely used across many products. Okay, bit more flavour on this conspiracy site, but we'll see. So I think what this conspiracy site is providing us with is possibly the full name of Ernie Jr., though we might have had it already. A lead on Chris Rafferty, who we don't know yet. We don't know who Chris Rafferty is. We haven't heard the name Chris Rafferty, so it's probably one of Clark Rafferty's kids. And a little hint towards what his career might be. I'm going to also add Chris Rafferty to our list in case he comes up. Okay, so we've looked at Operation RT29, so let's look up Ernie Madsen Jr. And we still haven't started looking at the 5 pieces, which is what I was supposed to start this episode with. On we go. Nothing relevant. Ernie Madsen Jr. was the president of the Roottree company, and he's not in a Google search. Okay, cool. Guy Hudson. I'm just going to put a note about Ernie. There we go. Right. Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece product line for less than a year in 1979. It was Guy Hudson's first and historically most cited move as the president of Roottree. In an attempt to cater towards what he thought the average person wanted, Guy looked at his own wealth, which was often a source of envy for others, and decided to tap into the idea that if they added fancy flavours to 5 pieces, anyone could live like the wealthy. This philosophy led to a flavour in 5 pieces that was meant to mimic caviar. 5 pieces sold less that year than it had any other year except in some foreign markets. It was quickly announced that caviar was meant to be a limited flavour and would go back to normal as soon as possible. Okay, that's given us not a lot. And I think Fancy Flavors is just going to lead us back here. Yep. I don't think there's any information here that gives us anything that we didn't know. We knew Guy Hudson was president. And that's it. That is it. For now. I wonder if Fancy Flavors comes up in here. Let's look at Guy Hudson here, because maybe Business Watch keeps an eye on the president's more. Here we go. Guy Hudson. And I'll look up Ernie Madsen Jr. as well. Guy Hudson, along with his twin sister, this is 1977, are no strangers to twin sister. Aha, 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 aha. Aha, aha. Shush. Shut up. Where did we put the twin stuff? Angie. Oh, Raising the Twins. Here we go. Right, let's move this down. Let's just edit this so it goes downwards. So colon instead of little carrots. And then Guy Hudson along with his twin sister. ... Now, if they're twins, how would they be arranged? They would be arranged. I would tell them apart because one of them has kids and one of them doesn't have kids, is what I'm going to go with. Okay. Guy Hudson and his twin sister. They both appeared in the company's advertisements as children during the Boys and Girls Agree era. If I can look that up. I'm actually going to make a note to look in periodicals for Ernie. Boys, this is getting very long, and Girls Agree. Now Guy is taking over the Roottrees company at the end of the year. So Guy took over in 78, let's say. Who would have known that one of the two adorable redheads, Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher, with providing his fiery do. Sorry, I know I'm stopping in the middle of sentences, so it's not that helpful. So, who would have known that one of the two adorable redheads arguing over everything but chocolate would grow up to take over the whole company? Okay, so I'm sorry for pausing constantly, but it is quite rich with information. So, for example, if we go over here, they are the next generation. No, they are this generation. So these are those two. These are the redheads. And she... Oh, I felt the weight of faux pas upon me as I said it, but she does look pregnant, right? She's got like a round stomach and she's holding it in a way that's suggestive, right? Like, it feels like a clue. It feels like it's being presented as a clue. She's pregnant. She has the kids. Therefore, she's on with kids. He's on without kids. This is Guy. This is someone else. Guy is a president. Okay, so Guy became president at end of 1977. So we don't know which president, but if we know when the others became president, Zach was president in 64. We'll see. Okay. Right at this moment, with the information I have in my head, not sure. Guy's uncle and current president, Zachariah. Okay. Okay. Uncle Zach over here, second president. You're the third president. Great. So let's just whack that on the end. Great. Good. Good. As I'm talking, information is flowing. It's confirming the things we need confirmed. So Zacharias decided to take early retirement to focus on traveling the world with his wife. Zach was quoted as saying, "Now that our daughters have started families of their own, Clara and I plan to reflect on a life well lived. Guy's new to the business world, but his family. We at Roottrees have faith in our innovative ideas, and he's eager to share them with the world. We like to think the boys and girls agree that he's ready to succeed." A little bit of a pun on whatever the boys and girls agree are. We're going to look that up in a second. Okay, so we know that Ernie Jr. was the fourth president because Carl was the fifth president. So it seems likely Ernie Jr. was in the swinging generation, or whatever the hell this one was called, the loose cannons, the free spirits as well, because if Guy and Carl are presidents in the same generation, then the president between them is likely to be in the same generation as well. It seems. It would make sense. But it's not guaranteed, it just would make sense. Great. I feel like I'm doing things based on evidence and I'm making progress. Let's find out what the boys and girls agree era is. Oh, printing. You find a site about successful ad campaigns. One of the ads listed from the late 50s. Boys and Girls Agree. It's a series of television and magazine ads for Roottrees chocolate bars. The ad campaign is described as having the premise that boys and girls are often diametrically opposed, except when it comes to one thing. Both of them agree that Roottrees is their favourite. The first advertisement in the series was the most memorable due to the bright red hair of the boy and girl involved. One of the magazine advertisements has been added to your evidence. And I think we know who these people are. Yep. Great. I can't stick you on there yet, but you are going to go into those little things once we've nailed you. The annoying thing is now, so we don't have you yet. Who did we? I'm pretty sure that's you, Candy. And I'm pretty sure that's you, Guy. So that's your picture? That's your name, Clark? What did you do with your career afterwards? Maybe we can figure that out now. Balls. Right, is there anything about this? This is an ad for the Roottrees candy from the 50s. It's part of a campaign called Boys and Girls Agree, which included television and print adverts. The ad campaign is described as having boys, premise that boys and yeah, we read all this. This is the same text for the most part. There's 2 clues attached to it, but I think we already know who these people are. We've stuck them on the family tree. So to clarify in my mind, Zach's sister had twins. And Zach's sister was the oldest of this generation, as said by Lauren. The twins were redheaded, and only one of them has kids. Therefore, because she's, I'm going to say it, she's pregnant in the photo. She's the one with the kids. So that's the sister. That's the twin sister. That's Guy. Came out of the womb a little bit behind, I guess. He's the third president. That's why these people are here. I'm happy with that. I feel happy. Do you feel happy? I feel happy. There's fireworks going off. Not a lot of fireworks, but there's a couple of fireworks going off. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. Is there anything else from here we need? I don't think so, but let's see if we can figure out anything about Ernie while we're here. Oh, God. Here we go. You find an article from December 1995. Root. President to take over Roottrees. Okay, so Ernie was the president of Root, which was the clothing company that Carl and Brenda sort of came up with. I think Brenda was the designer and Carl kind of supported it, even though his family thought it was crazy. So Ernie apparently was the president of that, or was running it. Yeah, was the president. Due to heart illness, Ernie Jr. stepping down as president of Roottrees at the start of the second quarter. Oh, okay, I got it. No. The Root president was Carl. Ernie's stepping down, and Carl is taking over. Got it. His second cousin Carl. Oh yes, we knew that. We knew. So Ernie is in the same generation. Ernie is one of the new wave, one of the loosey goosies, whatever they're bloody called. I can never remember. The free spirits. I'm never going to remember that. His second cousin Carl, president of sister company Root. And former Watchman of the Year, we knew that, will take over. It's been 13 years since Ernie was forced to step into the role of president unexpectedly. I don't know where we're going to put Ernie in all this. Let's go up here. So I'm going to put ... written in 95. So Ernie took over in 82. Might not be important, but we'll make sure we just got a little timeline going. And Guy took over in, let's say, 78. End of 77, beginning of 78. Back then, not much was known about the man other than his full name. In the years since, he's taken on a bit of a reputation as a real-life wonker. He's known as a bit of an eccentric, and he's known as a bit eccentric and reclusive, opting to be simply called Ernie Jr. and to forgo the typical luxuries of the average Roottrees. But in our estimation, he has been a shrewd businessman with an eye for sweets. Ernie Jr. has led Roottrees to record profits by developing new products, including the ever-popular Maple Crisps, and by spearheading the formation of Root. With his cousin in 82, after learning of Brenda Roottrees' power in the fashion community. Okay, so Ernie Jr. was one of the people who didn't shun Carl when all that was kicking off. I'm pretty sure I remember, like, Carl, the people who formed Root. Being a bit side-eyed by the family, right? For it being a distraction or something. Let's spider search this. Maple Crisps are Roottrees' most recent products. Introduced in 92, they're a series of circular crunchy wafers. I mean, yeah, I know what crisps are. Oh, no, they would have been... No, crisps are not... In America, that's not what crisps are. I guess maple crisps are crispy things. Circular, crunchy wafers coated in nuts and chocolate maple flavouring. That is not what a crisp is to me. The website of a fan says they came to be during the tenure of Ernie Jr., a former president of the Roottrees Candy Company. There's a commercial that ended a few years during the Super Bowl. Okay, doesn't give us much. Doesn't give us much. He's just a second cousin. I don't think that's going to give us anything, is it? Let's search real life Wonka. No. So Ernie Jr. is not turning up a lot. We did find Boys and Girls Agree. That's fine. Let's look up Chris Rafferty while we're there. I don't think he's going to be of importance. But let's find out. Christopher? No. No, nothing yet. That's fine. Worth a guess. So he's down here somewhere. How many... LaRue? So there's 2 Rafferty LaRues. And there's 1 Chris Rafferty. So... I would imagine the Rafferty LaRues are going to be siblings, right? And Chris Rafferty on his own is going to be... I mean, they're all siblings. So what I'm saying is... I mean, they are sort of all Rafferty LaRues, in a way. But I'm guessing the ones that are sort of in a family unit, these not half siblings. I think these ones here are going to be Rafferty LaRues, and I think this one is going to be Chris Rafferty. And that's all I got for now. How do we nail you, Clark? Like, if we find out about Chris Rafferty, is he going to talk about his father? I don't know. You're bothering me. You're bothering me too. You're bothering me. Is there any... There's no way we can identify you from the picture, is there? Oh, maybe actually. Maybe actually. This is Zach. This is Miracle. That's Eli. So, I mean, you look quite young. Someone is Sam. Someone is Sam. Is this Sam? I still haven't figured out bloody Sam. So, have we put this person on the map yet? Eli. Because that's not Eli. So Eli could be this person. Let me just... There's a lot of bloody Eliases, aren't there? Okay. So we've got the main Elias. He's gone. I'm assuming people disappear when you can't... It's okay. Lauren's gone because you can't put her in there. Great. So we've got 3 bloody Elis. Unfortunately. here? This person. This person. Why have we put this person here as a miracle son? Why is that there? If that person, Eli looked a lot like Pop did. So I'm just going to put Eli there. We can't because we don't know who the bloody hell, which Eli he is. Okay, it's fine. Who is in this picture? Who is in this picture? Pause. I'm gonna do something, but I'm gonna do it in a way that I don't accidentally show bits of my computer I don't want to show. Okay, so I've opened this up in Affinity, so I can draw on it. We're all gonna be fine. Don't you worry. There we go. Right, we'll make a little dark layer in between, so everything will show up nicely. Right, so we're talking about who are these people? That's Zach. That is Miracle first. This is Lauren. We know that much. This is Eli, but which Eli we don't know. And that's when I start to get a little hazy. So let's go back to the thingy. An attempt to recapture the spirits of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand on the way to left, blah, 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 blah. We know that much. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, so we clumped in the middle. So that's sort of that bunch. And let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwyn. So Gwyn is not there, right? So I'm just going to write no Gwyn. Back we go. Grandma insisted we include Sam. I also didn't think it fair. Sam made NCC's technically a 5-piece, so Sam somewhere. This might be Sam. So do we think this 4? No. So there's a clumping in the middle she talks about, right? Which feels like this lot. Is this Angie? Because let's go to Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher, with providing his fiery dew. So I think all over the place here. This, we don't need it to be that big, is Angie. Because of the fiery dew. And in fact, let's bloody shove her in. There you go. Unknown occupation. Back to the evidence. Where are you? Where's your picture? Where are you? What's going on? So that's Angie. And we've done this before. How many people are on this row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not Gwyn. 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus Miracle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus Sam, plus Miracle. Maybe. Yes, that is a... I was sorry, I paused because like, is that a different Miracle maybe? But no, that is Miracle because he's confirmed up here. So why is there not Miracle Jr. in that picture? Am I wrong about this being Eli? These two pictures are going to drive me absolutely crazy. He does look like this guy. He's got the tie, he's got the stance, he's got sort of the blonde hair. Right? Right? Like that clue is clearly... That, yes, I mean that is it. That person is Eli. Now why did we think Eli... Oh, I know why. I know why. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. There's a second Eli. Right. Okay, so this is... Wait. Stop saying things. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently he was riding his mini bike alongside the Okay, this is... You are... Get out of here. One of these people is Eli. Where did I put this? I need to like bloody... How do I copy this? Right, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to this line, and I'm going to... Can I shovel this in here? No, I can only make it... I can't like split this into two things. So I'm... No, wait, it is here. Okay, I moved it. So what I'm going to do to myself, if I want to find out why I thought this... Oh yeah, you can't do line breaks. See... Note on Lauren's brother. Did I save that? Yes, okay. Right, back to this. This is going to be... Oh, no. You know what? Let's go down to 2 pixels. Lauren's brother, Eli. Now, if we can work out which brother he is. So the whole point of this was to try and identify Carl's father in my mind. I know I feel like I didn't explain myself. So this, I feel like Clancy Jr. is this person. Because I think they're the only person left. I think... I was going to say, I think the only person, the people who aren't in it are the Miracle's children, right? Like she says, the only person too good to make an appearance was Gwyn, but there's clearly more people too good to make an appearance. we've got Zach and Angie, who are children of the first 5-piece. He's the 5th 5-piece. Lauren and Eli, and if that's Clancy, are all children of the 3rd 5-piece. We don't know anything about the 2nd 5-piece, and then we got these chums. Is that Margalite? Maybe. No, sorry, Margalite is a 5-piece. In fact, yeah, it's not going to be easy to put everyone in the right place here, is it? I was going to say, could we identify all the 5 pieces from the 5-piece photograph? But I don't think we can yet. Although we know... I was going to say, we know Gwyn's father is a man, but what I mean is Gwyn's father is a Roottrie. Or Gwyn's Roottrie parent... No, we don't. Gwyn's Roottrie parent is a woman. So that... How many men we got? I think we know this person is a woman. So that's a woman. That's a woman. Sorry. That's a woman. That's a woman. That's a man. Therefore, it's that man. So just to clarify, the oldest 5-piece is a woman. Gwyn used the Roottrie name, but her actual birth name is not Roottrie because her father is not a Roottrie. And there was a thing about her using the Roottrie name for fame. So this person is a woman. There's only one man left. It's this guy. I mean, that's been there for a while, but you just don't think about connecting all the dots, do you? Sorry, and we weren't even looking at this. We were looking at this. It's very unclear who these people are. But I'm trying. I don't think there's much more we can do. So I'm going to call that for now. Okay, so let's... I've already saved it once, so let's... Yeah, there we go. Great. Great. Have we got anywhere with this? I mean... So who have we got? How many till we get pending? We've got you. You've got a face, but nothing else. You've got... Not an occupation. Someone was the first woman who wasn't a housewife. I think we can give you housewife and maybe you housewife if we can remember what Lauren said about the first Roottrie who wasn't a housewife. Her mother's family is called the Cossells. Aunt Margot, Starlet. Here we go. Gwyn, the only child, complained of loneliness. I hope she'd be the sister I never had, but she just complained. Now she's a starlet. She's the first Roottrie woman to be anything other than a housewife. So, all the women older than her, well, not all the women older than her, but I think I can say you were a housewife. And I think I can say you were a housewife. Who have we locked in? Okay. Okay, we got Candy in. That's good. Angelica Morden, I feel like that all came together this episode, or at least this episode at the back end of the last one. Once we started following the Redhead line, that kind of, a lot of this came together. So that's good. We put his photo in. Oh, God. Okay, yes. Do I have to click on this? Oh, it's a phone.
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier. I promise I didn't steal it.
Who are you? Carry on.
But I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed.
Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Highlight.
I'm a Roottrees.
Oh!
I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of.
Are you RR? What were the dates on RR?
If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
15 more. Okay, that's fine. I'm having fun. What's the new evidence we got? Oh, it'll be a summary of what just happened. Blah, blah, blah. Radio station. Instead of returning, the person who hired you called you on the phone. They claimed they were a Roottrees. They also said they'd give you more of an explanation next time they returned. What the hell is this? Oh my god, you can filter these things? And what is... this? We're going to have to get into this at some point. 11 things attached to that. How's this doing? This is down to 2, so clearly something is happening. We used quite a lot of stuff that came out of this in this episode, probably the last episode. So this is tracking stuff somehow. So what is this? Story items, photo items. Was this always here? Or has it appeared now that we've got so much stuff that it might be more useful? Text items. Yeah. Music items. Can't play this, can we? Some of the things we can play, but not that one, I guess. Marketing items. And we didn't look up the 5 pieces. Damn. All right, let's call it there. Let's call it there, because I think that was... We made some good progress. We were piecing things together. I drew on things in Affinity. Yeah, and I think we've got a... if not solid footing, not squishy footing. We've got something. We've got movement. We're piecing things together. We got hair colours. We've got clues. We're doing something. At some point, I will understand what all these 14. Oh, okay. The numbers are changing based on the page. So, and we don't know enough about Clark, so maybe I need to. It's only 1964 though. We're not going to learn about Clark's modern day. Anyway, I'm thinking instead of wrapping up. We did good there. Thank you. I think we're going to do great. I'll record the next one in a couple of days, I think. And we'll go from there. Thank you again for watching. I'd appreciate a little something in the comments to let me know what you're thinking, but nothing. I don't want to know what you're thinking in terms of directions for me to head in. If you've noticed something I haven't, you keep that to yourself and you stay frustrated for the next 6 episodes. But if you've got something to say that I find interesting, then write that instead. Okay. See ya. Bye. And so on.